Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. In this podcast, I'll be talking about why the Vancouver Canucks have struggled this season. In this podcast, I'll be talking about the struggles of the Vancouver Canucks this season and what could be done to fix them. The Vancouver Canucks are currently holding on to the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference and are fourth in the Pacific Division. They have a 26-18-11 record for 63 points in 55 games, having scored 155 goals for and yielded 166 goals against. The Canucks have a 11-10-7 record at home and a 15-8-4 record on the road. Vancouver has played much better lately, going 6-3-1 in their last 10 games. The Vancouver Canucks come into this season with the expectation that they might contend for the Pacific Division title, but things haven't been as expected, and there was an obvious locker room issue which caused the trade of JT Miller to the New York Rangers, and the subsequent acquisition of Marcus Pettersson to strengthen their blue line. The Canucks have a decision to make regarding Brock Boeser at the deadline, and where they are in the standings at the deadline will determine what they do. Several factors have contributed to their underperformance during the 24-25 season. These include offensive challenges, their home versus away performance, key player performance, defensive woes, and mid-season slump. The Canucks have scored 154 goals, ranking them 24th out of 32 teams in terms of goals for. This decline in offensive production has been a significant factor in their struggles. The team has exhibited a stark contrast between home and away games. On home ice, they have a point percentage of .471, while on the road, it improves to .808. This inconsistency, especially at home, has impacted their overall standing. Forward JT Miller has struggled offensively, recording only 2 goals since the 17 games he returned from his leave of absence. His reduced production has been a setback for the team's offense. His lack of production and effort was so bad that Vancouver was forced to trade him to the Rangers. The Canucks have conceded 166 goals against, resulting in a negative goal differential of -11. This defensive fragility has been a significant factor in their struggles. In January of this year, the Canucks experienced a downturn, losing 6 of 7 games and being outscored 11-2 in 2 consecutive matches. This slump further hindered their progress in the standings. Addressing these issues will be crucial for the Canucks as they aim to improve their performance the rest of the season. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/hockeywiz777scouting. The Vancouver Canucks have struggled offensively in the 2024-25 season, with several key factors contributing to their issues. Decline in scoring production, JT Miller's struggles, lack of secondary scoring, power play inefficiency, injuries to key forwards, and struggles at home. The team has only scored 154 goals, ranking 24th in the league. This drop in offensive output has made it difficult to compete against high-scoring teams. After returning from a leave of absence, JT Miller has only managed to score 2 goals in 17 games. His lack of production has hurt the Canucks tremendously. Beyond their top players like Elias Pettersson and Brock Boeser, the team has struggled to generate consistent secondary scoring from their middle and bottom 6 forwards. The Canucks' power play has been inconsistent as well, failing to convert crucial opportunities, which has put additional pressure on their 5-on-5 play. They are missing key offensive contributors due to injuries, which disrupted their team chemistry and reduced their ability to generate offense. The Canucks have performed terribly on home ice, which has impacted their ability to control the pace of games and capitalize on matchups. If they hope to turn things around, they will need improved play from their top players, better secondary scoring, and they will need to play better at home. The Vancouver Canucks' home versus away performance has been a major factor in their struggles. Their inconsistent results in different environments have hindered the ability to climb the standings. The Canucks have been a significantly better team on the road, with a point percentage of .808. They have been able to play a structured, defensive-oriented game and capitalize on counterattacks, leading to better results. However, on home ice, the record is much weaker, with a .471 point percentage at Rogers Arena. They struggle to generate offense in front of the home crowd, leading to a lack of momentum in critical games. The Canucks have allowed more goals on home ice than on the road, contributing to their inconsistent performance. Defensive breakdowns and goaltending struggles at home have also hurt them in tight matchups. Their power play has been less efficient at home, failing to take advantage of matchups where they should have an advantage. Conversely, their penalty kill has been much stronger on the road, allowing them to stay in close games. Their inability to capitalize on home ice advantage has been a major factor in their current standings. If the Canucks can improve their play at home ice and maintain their strong road performance, they could still push for a better playoff position. While some stars have maintained their strong play, some stars have underperformed or dealt with injuries, contributing to the team's inconsistent play. Elias Pettersson has had mixed production this season. Although he remains one of the team's top scorers, his point production has dipped compared to previous seasons. He has struggled with consistency, particularly at home, and he has not been as dominant in driving plays at even strength. If he can regain his offensive spark, it would provide a major boost to the Canucks' attack. JT Miller, as discussed before, took a leave of absence earlier in the season and only had 2 goals and 17 games since returning. His offensive struggles hurt the team and he was eventually traded to the New York Rangers. Brock Boeser has been one of the few bright spots offensively for the team, leading them in goals. However, he has not had enough support from other forwards, making it easier for opponents to shut him down. Quinn Hughes has been without a doubt the team's most consistent performer when he's in the lineup, driving offense from the blue line and logging major minutes. However, he has had to shoulder an even heavier defensive workload due to the struggles from other defensemen. Injuries have kept him out of the lineup for stretches of the season, limiting him to just 47 games. Thatcher Demko has had strong performances, but has also been inconsistent, particularly at home. He has faced a high number of shots in some games due to defensive breakdowns, leading to fatigue and subpar outings. For the Canucks to improve, their top players need to step up offensively, but they will also need to get help from role players. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywithtalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywith777. The Vancouver Canucks' defensive struggles have been a major reason why they have underperformed this season. While Quinn Hughes continues to be an elite defenseman, the team has faced issues with their defensive depth, inconsistency, and goaltending support. The Canucks have allowed 166 goals against this season, a negative 11 goal differential. Defensive breakdowns have resulted in too many high danger scoring chances against for the opponent. Injuries and poor performances have forced frequent lineup changes on defense, which disrupted chemistry. The team recently acquired Marcus Pettersson to stabilize the blue line, but it takes time to make adjustments. Outside of Quinn Hughes, the Canucks lack a true shutdown defenseman. Tyler Myers and Filip Hronek have been inconsistent this year, leading to defensive lapses in key moments. Opponents have been able to sustain pressure in the Canucks D-zone due to poor breakout execution. Turnovers in the D-zone have led to high-quality chances and goals against. Thatcher Demko has been solid at times, but has struggled with inconsistency. The defensive breakdowns have forced him to face a high volume of shots, leading to fatigue and subpar performances. The penalty kill has been below league average, allowing too many power play goals against. A major reason for this is because the Canucks struggle to clear the puck and protect the slot during the PK. What needs to improve? For one, they need better defensive structure. The team must tighten up its system and limit on-man rushes. They need consistent defensive pairings to build chemistry on the blue line, and they need to fix their PK, which would take pressure off their goaltending. The Vancouver Canucks have hit a rough patch in the middle of the 24-25 season, significantly impacting their standings and momentum. The Canucks were outscored 11-2 in back-to-back losses, highlighting their offensive struggles. During this slump, they failed to generate consistent offensive pressure and have allowed too many defensive breakdowns. Vancouver's goal scoring dried up, with their top players struggling to create offense. Although some players like Pettersson and Boeser have produced a little bit, the secondary scoring has been nearly non-existent. The Canucks have allowed too many high-danger scoring chances, leading to a negative goal differential. Both Kevin Lankinen and Thatcher Demko have faced high shot volume, and their performances have been highly inconsistent because of this. Their power play has been ineffective, failing to capitalize on scoring chances, while their PK has struggled mightily, leading to costly goals against in critical situations. Can the Canucks turn it around? Well, in order for them to turn it around, they will need to fix their power play and convert on more opportunities with the man advantage. They will need better defensive structure and limit on-man rushes, and their depth scoring needs to contribute to take pressure off their top forwards. The good news is that the Canucks still have a little time to recover and stay in the playoff race in the Western Conference. The Vancouver Canucks have been active leading up to the 2024-25 trade deadline, making several significant moves to address the team's need and improve performance. The Canucks traded forward JT Miller and defenseman Eric Brandstrom, as well as prospect Jackson Dorrington, to the New York Rangers in exchange for forward Phil Hedl, defenseman Victor Mancini, and a conditional first-round pick in 2025, top 13 protected. If the pick falls within the top 13, it transfers to 2026. Besides the JT Miller trade, the Canucks also made two additional trades. The New York Rangers acquired Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor from the Pittsburgh Penguins for forward Danton Heinen, defenseman Vincent Desharnais, prospect Melvin Fornstrom, and a conditional first-round pick obtained from the Rangers. Vancouver would also trade defenseman Mark Friedman to the Nashville Predators for future considerations. These moves reflect the Canucks' strategy to retool the roster by acquiring younger talent and addressing specific positional needs, such as defense. The addition of Phil Hedl aims to bolster the center position following the departure of JT Miller, while Marcus Pettersson is expected to strengthen the deep core. Drew O'Connor adds versatility to the forward group. Listen to Hockey Whiz Talks podcast on Podbean and Spotify. Check out my travel channel at youtube.com/HockeyWhizTravels. Potential trades. Vancouver Canucks trade Brock Besser to the LA Kings for Trevor Moore, a second-round pick in 2026, and a conditional second-round pick in 2028. If Besser resigns with LA, the second-round pick in 2028 will become a first-round pick. With Brock Besser likely to become a free agent, Vancouver should trade him and get what they can for him, and not lose him for nothing. Vancouver Canucks also trade Pius Suter, Drew O'Connor, and Derek Forbort to the Boston Bruins for Mark Kastelik, Oliver Wahlstrom, Parker Witherspoon, and a third-round pick in 2026. Mark Kastelik and Oliver Wahlstrom add some depth on offense, while Parker Witherspoon would be a solid depth defenseman. Projected lineup. The first line is Elias Pettersson centering Jake DeBrusk and Kiefer Sherwood. Second line is Phil Hedl centering Nils Höglander and Trevor Moore. Third line is Teddy Bluger centering Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland. Fourth line is Mark Kastelik centering Oliver Wahlstrom and Nils Amann. First D pair is Quinn Hughes and Philip Pronuk. Second D pair is Marcus Pettersson and Tyler Myers. Third D pair is Elias Pettersson and Carson Soucy. Goaltenders are Thatcher Demko and Kevin Lankinen. The Canucks still have some time to recover and secure a playoff spot, but they need to fix their scoring issues, tighten up defensively, and improve their play on home ice. If they can make some key roster adjustments and regain their confidence, they should be able to turn their season around. In my next podcast, I'll be talking about why the Montreal Canadiens are struggling this season.